everyone, it's Amy, the Skin and Lash City licensed esthetician, and I want to thank you for purchasing your Viktoria DeAnn Lift kit. And in this video, I'm going to go over the kit, how much to use, other products, so the sequence you need to mix it in with, and anything that could possibly come up during your use of the kit. So here goes. So when you get your kit, now the kits come in 3 strengths: mild, medium, and ultra. Most clients will start on the mild or the medium. If you have rosacea or you're coming off a long-term retinoid use, you are going to be using the mild. Usually I start everybody on the medium, and I'm on the ultra because I've been on the kit for quite some time. So in your kit, you'll see there is a card that explains the mild, the medium, and the ultra, and that's only one product. That's only the rejuvenator that comes in those three strengths, because it just depends also on the health of your skin when we start. You'll also get a nice welcome message from the owner and lead chemist, Mark Victoria, and in your kit also comes, of course, a little picture showing the order of your products, but not how much to use. I'm going to show you that. And you have your peptides. You have your Peptide Lift, which helps to lift and tone the skin and build collagen. Your Peptide Tone, which is going to target your wrinkles. It's a neuropeptide, so it's good for crow's feet, the upper lip, but I use it all over. And your eye serum. The first and most important thing is that this product needs to go on clean, dry skin. So I've already cleansed my skin. Now, please be aware, if you're using an oil-based cleanser or a cleansing balm, you're going to need to do a second cleanse. Those particular cleansers tend to leave a film on the skin, and it can prevent the penetration of the product going in. We want to work smarter, not harder. We want the product to be in the optimal way for it to be effective. There are so many times that I don't realize when clients send me a picture, they're not getting a result, that they're using a cleanser or they're mixing it in with other things that are blocking the product's performance, penetration, or, it's all about like molecular structure. So I've already cleansed my skin. Now today, I left my mascara on, but I cleanse with my Glymed Mega Purifying Cleanser or my daily wash. And now my skin is dry. We don't want this on damp skin because the peptides just work best when the skin is dry. So people always say, I'm always in a rush in the morning. Well, sit and drink your coffee for a minute or drink your glass of water. So the first one we're going to apply is the Peptide Lift. Now I'm going to show you 2 ways to how to do the application. It is not about more is better. It's about just making sure that you're applying it on the properly prepared skin and it will go in. So all the bottles are in a amber bottle, and that's to protect it from any UVA and UVB rays. They don't need to be refrigerated. They just need to be at room temperature, and they're stable. You don't need to shake the bottle. There's nothing in here to mix. Please be aware that peptides sometimes have a vinegary smell on them. There's no fragrance in here, and each one has a different bit of a tone. Some have a lighter tone, some have a darker, and some can have a different smell on them. They're not bad, they're not rancid. It's just that peptides just sometimes have a scent on them. Okay. We always apply using our pads of our fingers. We're going to put the product on, and that's because we have calluses here, and the product's not going to absorb here, so we're not putting it on the palm of our hand. So I'm going to apply first 1 drop. We only need 3 or 4 drops of the product, and if your skin is properly cleansed, the product is just going to glide on and go right in. So in this method, on this bottle, I'm just going to show you doing 1 drop at a time. So I'm putting 1 drop right on my middle finger, and I just apply. And I pretty much can get it to go down to my neck. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. 1 drop. That's my 1 drop. Put it on. And I can get it to go down. That was 2 drops. If you conservatively use this kit, it can last you up to 2 months. 3rd drop. 1 drop right on my middle finger. Put it on the center, down my nose, my upper lip. Actually, I got extra up here. Move it down. Now I'm going to have another one on my neck and my décolleté. And I always pull it. Don't forget this area here, which we forget, shows age. And I always pull it down to my neck. Now, if I was wearing the proper shirt or I have my robe on at home, I would put another drop on my chest. So that would have been 4 drops, maybe 5 drops at the most. And now I'm going to wait to allow it to set in 1 to 2 minutes. We don't want to put the peptide on top of another wet peptide. So now I'm doing the Peptitone. Peptitone is a neuropeptide, so it helps to relax wrinkles along the upper lip line, crow's feet, glabella. I generally use it all over. You can target it in just those areas if you like, but I don't. It also helps to firm and tone the skin as well. So this one, instead of doing 1 drop at a time, I'm gonna just put 1, 2, 3. I think that was 3. I'm just gonna pat it together a little bit, and I don't want it to absorb into my hand, and I'm moving it down. This is generally the method that I use. I'm not putting it into my eye, but I put it pretty much close up. I get it a little bit into my hairline as well. And I'm gonna let that set in. It doesn't take long. People are always in a rush. 1 to 2 minutes for let it to get in his spine. If you find that it's still wet or tacky, you give it a couple more seconds. Okay, those two are really thin. They're like water. So as with all skincare, we always go from the thinnest to the thickest. So the eye serum comes next because this one is a thicker formula. And this one only needs 1 drop. So I'm putting it on my ring finger, and I'm smushing it together because that's a technical term. And I just dab it along the bottom, and I can put it along the top. I'm not using any pressure. And I tend to also put it, and I bring it out towards, so I consider my eye area, like this whole area, to get my crow's feet as well. And I'm gonna let that set in. This takes a little bit longer because it's a little bit thicker. Now I have the Rejuvenator. There's a few tricks with the Rejuvenator and a few things that happen. Number one is, this is a thicker formula. You'll see when I pump it out. It could tingle a lot. So it also depends on the size of your face. I know that sounds odd. So my kid's sister is really tiny. 1 pump will cover her whole face down to her neck. Mine, I kind of need 2. So you're going to have to figure that out for you. I always want my kits to try to finish at the same point. Not always possible, depending on what your skin's going to take with the Rejuvenator. So I know that I need 2 pumps on mine. So 1, 2, put it at my fingertips. I'm not rubbing it in. I'm just distributing along my fingertips. Please do not get this in your eye. So you're going to work around your eye area. And once again, I get those corners in front and I pull it down. Now I know that 2 pumps can get down onto my décolleté, but if I need another one, but this stuff, if your skin is prepped right, it's gonna smooth. Now, if you're a first time using this, you're gonna say, my skin is really tingly. I've been on Ultra for several years and it still tingles, and that is the niacinamide tingling. Now, for some people, they say, it's tingling too much. Then go put on your moisturizer now and it'll stop the tingling. There's a few other things that happen with Rejuvenator. Now, I don't wear makeup, but when I did wear makeup, and this can happen depending on your makeup formulation, sometimes the Rejuvenator, which is a little bit thicker and leaves the skin a little on the tacky side, not always, but it can, and some makeups that have dimethicone and silicone on it, you may see that your makeup can ball up. So what are you gonna do? Well, if you really love your makeup formulation, then use your Rejuvenator in the evening. You know, we got to do what we got to do, ladies, to make it work, right? So I can't control the makeups, and I don't know which makeup formulations. It happened to my makeup as well. So the days that I am going to be wearing a full face of makeup, I know that my makeup foundation and my Rejuvenator sometimes don't work well together. So I just use my Rejuvenator at night on those days. So we want to have a little bit of common sense, but we still want to continue using the product. Okay, my Rejuvenator's dry. I don't wear makeup today. So the next thing I'm going to do would be getting a little bit of water into my skin. I don't want a lot because I don't want to hydrolyze my product, meaning I don't want to dilute it. So sometimes HAs can do that. So I use sodium hyaluronate instead of hyaluronic acid serum, and I'm using my skin recovery mist. There are a lot of days I just have a spray bottle of regular distilled water and I give my face a little squirt of water. So I'm going to give a little squirt. This is a very fine mist. It's enough. My skin's just a little bit damp, and I'm going to put on my moisturizer, which I don't currently have right here, on it. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to put on my sunblock. And I'm going to do the same exact thing at the end of my day. I'm going to wash my face. Remember, if I'm using a cleanser that has oil or it's a balm, I'm going to double cleanse. I'm going to let for it to dry. I'm going to put on my serums, put on my Rejuvenator, give my face a little spritz of water, put on my moisturizer, and then I'm good to go. And that is it. The products are highly effective. Now, for those of you that use vitamin C, so vitamin C is extremely unstable, and a lot of them in the marketplace are kind of all over the place. A lot of the L-ascorbic acids are really just unstable, and some of them don't play well with niacinamide. The higher grade vitamin C's do, like Mag C. But if you're somebody who uses vitamin C, you're going to use your vitamin C in the morning and not use your rejuvenator, and just use your rejuvenator in the evening. Get it? So vitamin C in the morning, only rejuvenator at night. We want to keep them separate so they're both effective and they don't conflict with each other. The other thing that can happen is some people will say, the rejuvenator is really tingling a little too much, it's uncomfortable. Then only use it at night and use it every other night until your skin gets acclimated to it. Everybody's skin is different and you shouldn't have to suffer for your skincare. It takes time sometimes to get used to something. Sometimes people will say, it's giving me acne, my skin is breaking out. It is not acne. This product is antimicrobial and antibacterial, and is non-comedogenic. So it's not going to cause any clogging of the pores. People always say, the box says it has coconut oil in it. It's actually fractionated coconut oil, so it doesn't have any of the clogging properties of coconut oil. And me, who's allergic to coconut, knows that when it's fractionized, I can't talk today. It's okay. But what happens is the skin is purging. You'll get sometimes these little pinpoint little pustules, and I've had them too. And that happens from a change of product, or the skin is purging. So like if you're menopausal, and most of my clients are older and menopausal, we're not getting acne anymore. That's called purging. And what it's doing, and that can happen whether you're on a new product or not. And what's happening is that it's causing cellular turnover, and it's putting the skin in a healthier state, and it's telling all that bad stuff to go bye-bye and get out. If you find that's happening a lot from your rejuvenator, like I said, switch to it in the evening only and try to do it every other night. And eventually, and it doesn't take long, sometimes it's only a week, and usually the purging will stop. A few other things about the peptides. The peptides have no fragrance in them, and sometimes they smell a little bit like vinegar, or they could be a little weird. I know that sounds odd, like weird, but that's just the nature of peptides, and everybody's cell receptors in their nose are different. I don't really notice it. I don't sniff the bottles, but I know some people will say that they could be a little stinky, but you know what? They work, and it doesn't stay on them. I always ask my husband, do I smell? And he goes, is that a rhetorical question? And I'm like, don't answer that. But all in all, these products work. Now, some people say, can I use hyaluronic acid serum? Can I use this? Can I use that? At the beginning, I really prefer clients to stay on the kit. The reason being, if something isn't working, I don't know if it's another product that's interfering with it or the product at hand. I really want the products to work, and the peptides really are meant to work as the system as you see it in the Lift Kit. So I always tell people, give it a chance. Another thing is always take a before selfie, and then usually 4 to 6 weeks later, take another selfie so we can see what's going on. Question I always get asked as well is there anything stronger? I need something stronger for my skin. The only one that comes in a different strength is that rejuvenator, because it's a different type of peptide. Now, the body does not get tired of the peptides. Just like you take a protein shake every day, you don't change your protein, right? Because it's giving the body what it needs. And it's the same thing with our skin. We're giving it what it needs to perform its best. Now, unfortunately, our skin is an organ that degenerates and regenerates at the same time. We can't stop the aging process. So 2 or 3 years go down, and I've had to add another peptide in. So I've added in peptielastin, and I use Peptiprocol as well. Because, like I said, I'm getting older. So even though I started my kit at 48, and now I'm 58, I've had to add in another peptide because I'm in menopause, my skin has changed. Some people say, my skin is really dry. You will find that the peptides will start adding hydration back to the skin. Rejuvenator is putting the skin, it's rejuvenating the skin. It wants to put it back into a healthier state, which is when we were younger. Well, I like to think that it's always in a healthy state. But it's a really simple protocol to use. The system really works. And like I said, I wouldn't be selling it and using it for this amount of time if it didn't. These products also work extremely well with microcurrent and LED light, but I do tell them if you're using those protocols, do not use them with your rejuvenator. Use it after your device because sometimes it just is a little too active for the skin. Other than that, it's a great product, and I'm so glad that you chose to do your skincare with the Viktoria DeAnn Peptides. If you are interested in this product, it does require a consultation. You can reach out to me so we can discuss what your skincare needs are. And if you're currently on it, I'm so happy that you've chosen, and please contact me and show me your results. And with that, don't forget to wash your face.